Okay, so far we have seen two demo sessions and two actual sessions. Okay, so these are the links. You can find it in Ashok IT YouTube channel also even. Okay, so you can directly go to youtube.com/Ashok IT. There you can search with my name, Raghu Spring Boot. They will get all the videos. Okay, or else you can click on the videos, you will get even. You can check it. Okay, so let's continue today's concept here. In the last session, we have seen dependency injection and also writing some basics of XML configuration and simple tags. Okay, let me just revise some important points. The first thing, we have started working with Spring Container. Okay, the work of the container is to find or scan your classes, and then it will create object. Okay, then so it will provide data and link objects based on the relations. Okay, you can use them and finally destroy. Okay, destroy objects and of course container also. Okay, finally when you stop the application, this is a destroying concept here. Okay, so if you observe, so in the demo one or day one session, okay, I gave about Spring Container. Okay, the work of the Spring Container is this one: find the classes, create the object, provide data and link objects, and finally destroy the objects or container. Okay, Spring Container will take two inputs. One is actually Spring Bean. Okay, it is actually a class that follows the rules given by Spring Container. Okay, those rules we are going to see. Okay, and also it will take second input, that is Spring Configuration. This configuration you have to write either XML, Java, or annotation. Okay, these are the different configurations. We started XML. Okay, container is actually two types. Spring Container two types. Old container is actually called Bean Factory. This old container works on XML configuration, and new container name is application context. Okay, it supports XML, Java, and annotation. But remember very carefully, these containers are interfaces. Interface. Bean Factory is the interface. Okay, it represents Spring Container, this container. Okay, so here XML Bean Factory is a class. This is the implementation of Bean Factory. And there are a lot of implementations for application context. Okay, so let us start from here. Now I'm just giving Spring Container takes two inputs. So the first one is actually Spring Bean. It is actually a class that follows rules given by Spring Container. Okay, second one, Spring Configuration. We can write in three ways: XML, Java, and annotation. Okay, so let me show the class and what are the rules that actually it follows and what exactly we have to see. I'm going to show one by one. Okay, look at carefully. Let us see about Spring Bean. Now, initially, we are going to write our own Spring Beans, means our own classes. But once you move to actual application, these classes almost predefined. That means in a project, if you are writing 100 classes, just assumption means 100%, 100 classes you are writing, more than 80% of classes will be you are going to use predefined. Majority of the code is predefined in Spring and Spring Boot frameworks. Okay, and but few percentage, 20%, you have to write some codes like some entities, repository, service, controller, rest controller, exception handler classes. Some code we have to write. Okay, so Spring Bean, I'm going to show here. So what is this Spring Bean and how to write? Okay, and Spring configuration. Okay, this is a work done by programmer only. Okay, so if you look at these two, Spring Bean and Spring configuration, both should be given by programmer only. First, we are starting today Spring Bean. Okay, so what is Spring Bean? So I mentioned it's a class. So we are going to see some rules that is given by Spring container. Okay, point number one. Container says, hey, programmer, you have to write public class only. Okay, outer class and inner classes. Class are two types in Java, inner and outer. Outer classes can be default or public. Inner class can be protected, private, default, and public. It's outer class by default. Okay, you have to write only public class. Okay, class must be public type. Okay, so here, if you write any class, that class recommended to be public type. Second, a good approach, always keep in a package. Okay, that's actually a good modularity or packaging system, whatever you call here. Okay, class should be in a package. For this package, there is a separate rule is available. You can't write however you want. There is a concept of base package. Okay, now I'm not mentioning here. Okay, class should be in a base package or sub package, actual point. Okay, temporarily I'm writing, but don't worry about that. Okay, must be in base package or sub package. Okay, this separate rule. Okay, this again separate rule. Okay, what is base package concept? We'll see. After all these rules, I'll show one by one how it is actually going to be. Okay, class should be in a package. Temporarily, you remember. Okay, it's actually a base package concept or it's a package concept. Okay, and third one. Okay, variables. You want to write variables? Yes, that is actually optional. Optional of writing variables, but if you write, they are recommended to be private. Protected also valid, but mostly recommended to be private. Recommendation only. Okay, sir, I'll write public variables. What will happen? Nothing will happen, but standard encapsulation says keep your variable with yourself. Okay, we'll do proper dependency injection either by using set method or constructor injection. Okay, you are giving a chance to Spring container. Okay, remember, so if you follow some rules, then container will do some other things. Okay, you may ask, sir, why should we follow all these rules? Very simple. You write class, container creates the object. You write variables, container will do provide the data. You provide relations, container will link the objects. If you want to, if you want container to do some work, then you should follow some other work. That is called your rules. Okay, then container says, okay, you follow this, remaining I will do that. Okay, so here variables recommended to be private. Okay, of course you can write public also, protected also, but recommendation. It's not mandatory, and writing variables even optional, but mostly we write. Next one, provide default constructor. Okay, it's a recommended standard with setters. Okay, getters are optional, your wish. Okay, with setters and getters are parameterized constructor, because if you remember in the initial sessions, setter injection, constructor injection I mentioned. Okay, providing the data by using set method or parameters constructor. So provide default means zero params constructor with setter getter methods. These are also called mutators. Setter. Okay. Generally getters, if you want to read them, okay, otherwise not required. Okay. Default constructor with set get methods recommended for setter injection, or parameterized constructor. Okay. Even both also valid, but not a standard. Okay, but not a good approach. So I'll write default constructor. I'll write a parameterized constructor. I'll write set get methods. Anything will happen? Nothing will happen. Yes, it's valid, but only one is fine. Only one is fine. Okay, no need of two actually here. Okay, I'll show practically even all these points, usages, and how to implement them one by one. Must be public class, should be in a package. Okay, variables recommended to be private. Write default constructor with mutators, set get methods, or parameterized constructor, even both also valid. Fifth point I'm showing here. Okay, so this comes under some overriding concept. Observe carefully. You have one parent class. There are some methods, and there is actually a child class. Okay, that actually extends parent. Okay, inheritance is a relation, whatever you call. And here you want to override those methods. Do you want to override these methods? Yes, you can do. But this method, whatever the method that you want to override, must be non-final. It's a core Java point. A final method can never be overridden. Okay. And non-private also. Okay, private method cannot be accessible outside of the class. Leave about overriding. Inheritance also, it will not participate. Non-private, it must be non-final, non-private, and non-static. Static will not participate in inheritance. Okay, static methods will never be participated in inheritance. Means it is specific to class. Okay, so here must be non-final, must be non-private, and must be non-static. It should not be static. It should not be private. It should not be a final method. Then only you can override the method. Of course, inheritance also required. Okay. Now look at, there is a parent class for every Java class that is actually called object class. Object class. Okay. So last time I gave some Eclipse shortcuts and I asked you to just remember. I'll be using them in the programming part. Okay. Look at carefully. Okay, so if someone started today first session, please watch this demo video links. Okay, so I'll be sharing to your email, to the registered emails. Okay, whoever attending the session, you will get the email also today. Okay, now to open a predefined class, I gave a shortcut. You can just see that is Control Shift and T. It's an open type and the class name is object. Look at carefully, Control Shift T, object. Control M to maximize, Control M to restore, Control M. Okay. Now Control plus to increase the font. Control O I'm pressing to view the members. If you want to view all variables and methods, Control O I'm pressing. Okay. There is a method called toString. Please look at toString, internally taking fully qualified class name, @ hash code, converting into hexadecimal format. And this is called actually, look at, okay, we'll see this logic later. ToString, it's not a final method. Yeah, it's a public method. It's not a private method. It's not a static method. So we can override in our child class because you write any class, okay, by default that is connected to object in Java. You need not write any separate extents also. Okay. So object class, which is present in java.lang package. Okay. So this is a toString method. And look at very carefully, equals. Lot of people in interviews ask, what is the difference between equals method and double equals to operator? Okay. To be frank, they are same. Unless until you override equals method. Okay, that's actually point. But a lot of people says equals will compare data, double equal to will compare reference. Yes, correct. But if you override, okay, for example, employee class you override, then it will, otherwise both are same, sir. Both are same here. Okay, see, look at equals internally using double equal to operator only. Okay, if your class overrides, okay, then it will compare. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, look at it is also not a private, not a static, and not a final method, so we can override this. And there is another method that is actually called contract method called hash code. Okay, look at hash code method has no body. Hash code method has no body. A method has no body is called what? Very good. And wrong answer. Lot of people says a method has no body is actually called abstract method. No, there is even a native method can also be present. Okay, a method heading present in Java, okay, and body present in native language. Okay, never think a method has no body is called abstract method. A method declared with abstract keyword is actually called abstract method, and that never contains body. That is actually definition. Okay, no problem. We'll see what is native method if you don't know. Okay, later. But look at, as of now, it's not a private, it's not a static, and it's not a final. Okay, so three methods are there. One is actually called toString. One second. Second one is actually equals and hash code. Okay, whenever you override equals, you should override hash code also. That is called a contract method. Okay, so that what is that contract and all I'll show. Generally, equals will compare two objects references, if not two objects hash code, if not two objects data. Okay, that is actually called a contract. Okay, even in case of hashing mechanism also it will use here. Okay, yeah, if you want temporarily native, what is native? Just I'm giving native method. Okay, a method which has its IMPL implementation code it. Okay, generally it's another language or its implemented language. It's actually C language. A lot of people ask, sir, why it's not in Java? Very simple. Java doesn't support pointers. You will be knowing that. Okay, calculating of memory hash code. Okay, hash code is actually memory. Memory means pointers. Okay, memory related operations you cannot do in Java. Okay, so here that's why it is actually doing this one. Okay, so and second point, remember, whenever we override equals method, okay, we should even override hash code method also. Okay, that is actually called a contract between equals and hash code. Okay, what is that contract? To explain it will take a lot of time. Okay, but internally, so hashing mechanism recommends that equals and hash code. Okay, if you want to use your class as a hash map key, okay, hash map, okay, so key, if you want to use that method, that a class should have implemented equals and hash code. That's a core Java point. I don't want to confuse you by jumping into core Java now. Okay, my concentration will be on Spring Beans. Okay, later I'll explain this. Don't worry, that's why I'm writing as a points. If possible, you can do even R&D. Okay, what is the contract? Okay, what is the contract between equals and hash code? One of the core Java questions asked for experienced people. You have more than 3+ experience, you must know what is this. For freshers, mostly not required. Remember, equals is a method, compare the data. Hash code is a method that gives some number, okay, of memory, hashing value. Okay, so native method implemented in some other language or native language. Now coming to our point, our Spring Bean, look at our Spring Bean can override toString method equals method, hash code method, as they are non-final, non-private, non-static. So our Spring Bean can have these methods. Okay, so that's actually called overriding rules. Our class can have object class methods overridden. What are they? ToString equals and hash code. These are the methods. Okay, ToString equals and hash code. Okay, equals with hash code you can also call here. Point number 5. 1, public class. 2, package statement. 3, variables private. 4, default constructor with setGet methods or parameterized constructor. 5, overriding object class methods. Okay, ToString equals and hash code. Number 6. Okay, do you want to write some extents? Okay, or some implements? Yes, you can write. Only that class should be your class, means whatever the class you wrote that you can extend, or else Spring Bean, Spring related, other it can be another Spring Bean. Okay, but not servlets related, generic servlet, HTTP servlet, some advanced Java classes are outside of Spring classes. A class given by something like servlets, EJB, some other old technologies are there. Those you cannot extend, you cannot implement them. Okay, so your class can extends another Spring Bean only. Okay, is this again a Spring Bean? Yes, your class can extend. Okay, or else this class should be given by Spring framework. Only Spring given classes. Okay, you may ask, sir, how can I identify? Okay, there is a simple shortcut. Those classes package present in org.spring framework. Okay, there is a simple shortcut I'll show. Your class can extend or implement, means inherit only other valid Spring Beans, but not technologies like servlets. Okay, it's not recommended. EJBs. Okay, any other technology class or inheritance implementation not recommended. Okay, nowadays Spring Bean is moving for no inheritance concept, only loosely coupling. There is a concept. Other than that, no inheritance we follow. Completely association mapping we follow here. Remember, class can inherit other valid Spring Beans only. Other valid Spring Beans only, other valid class only, but not servlets, EJB, other external APIs. Okay, these are all not valid. Okay, very simple. If a class is not from Spring framework or not yours, it's not recommended to use. Don't use that. Okay. And next, there is a special point here only. Each and every class in Spring Bean, in Spring framework, can implement one special interface that is actually called serializable. Serializable. Okay, so here this is actually for serialization purpose. Okay, so there's actually in a package java.io. Okay, Spring Beans or classes can implement java.io.serializable. Okay, not an issue if you are trying to do serialization. Okay, serialization means what, you know? Okay, convert object into some other formats. Okay, network understandable, network format, file understandable format, global formats. Okay, like XML or JSON, nothing but global formats. That is also serialization. Object convert into some other format here, writing over the network. writing to a files and all here. Okay, I'm asking a simple question. Okay, there is a class A, okay, that actually implements serialization, serializable. Okay, there is a class B, okay, that actually extends A. Is class B is class B serialized? Class A implements serializable. Okay, class B extends class A. Is class B serialized? Your answer can be yes or no. Yes. Answer is yes. Yes, it is a valid serialized. All subclass will be serialized. Okay. Answer is yes. Okay. Okay. I want B class should avoid. Okay. I want B class should avoid serializable. Okay, serialized. Then how you do this? This is you try. Okay, it's not easy as you think. Just you try this question, you find the answer, send it to my email ID, java by Raghu at gmail.com. I want to see the talented people names. Okay, it's not easy as you think. How to avoid child class serialization? No, not transient and all. Okay, child class, I don't want serialization, not transient. Try. Okay, especially I'm asking for experienced people, not for freshers. Generally, they won't ask this kind of questions for freshers. Okay. Your answer, send it to my email ID, java@raghu@gmail.com. Please note down my email. Okay. Let's come back to our concept. Okay. So here, point number 6, you can see your Spring Bean can inherit other Spring Beans only, or it can have even serializable interface also. Not an issue. Okay. So point number 7, coming to point of annotations. It's not applicable every time, but it is also a point. Are you trying to add some annotations? 3 categories of annotations are valid. One is actually called core annotations. Okay, are core Java annotations. An annotation present in java.lang package. This is the package name. Of course, you can go some other version also. Look at, there are some annotations deprecated, override, safe arcs, suppress warnings. These annotations you can add. It's actually core Java annotations or core annotations. Okay, so an annotation that present in java.lang package annotations. These annotations you can add in your Spring Bean. Okay, are you writing a class? Okay, and you want to say, hey Spring container, please create the object. Okay, then you have to follow the rules. Okay, so in that you can follow these core annotations. Deprecated means actually in the future it is going to be removed. One of the student asks, sir, what is deprecated? Deprecation means, okay, if you add something deprecated, that indicates in the future it is going to be removed. So better use one replacement. Okay, that is alternative, that is given by even Java framework only here, Java teams only. Hmm? It's not almost outdated, it's a performance wise we can also call. Okay, they may replace in the upcoming versions. Today you are working on some 3 version something. Okay, some Spring 3 or some XYZ framework 3 version. Okay, I want to tell in the 4 version. Okay, I am going to say to you it is deprecated. That means in the 5th version or 6th version I'll remove this, I'll give a replacement one. So in this 4 only you change it to the new one. That is called deprecation. Okay, and second one, Spring framework annotations. This I can't give now. There are a lot of annotations. That is only we are going to see. Spring and Spring Boot annotations we are going to see. And third one, integrations. Okay, there is actually JP annotations we are going to use, some XYZ technologies, some Hibernate, simply @entity, @repository, some annotations we use that is called integration annotations. Okay, these two I'll show later, packages and all. As of now, look at three categories of annotations allowed, especially Spring Framework annotations allowed. Okay, so core Java annotations allowed. These we use very rare scenario, but of course these are also allowed here. Okay, so now look at total 7 points. Do you want to write a class and Spring container should accept your class and allow to create the object? You have to follow these rules. Okay. Simple points you want me to keep. Public class. Class should be in the package. Variables private. Default constructor or parameterized constructor. Of course, set get methods. Okay, you can override 3 methods from object class to string equals and hash code. Okay, you can inherit only Spring Beans, no other technologies. Okay, and implement serializable interface allowed, and core annotations. Spring Framework annotations are allowed. Okay, don't by heart them. Just try to remember a few important points, especially first 4 points. Okay, I'll show at the time of practically one by one point here, not to worry about that. Okay, yeah, method should be public. Yes, some points also will come here. Okay, setters and getters default public only. All methods recommended to be public only. Okay, so here if you want me to write methods private, sorry, variables private, because one method will be called by another method here. Okay, method needs to be public only. Okay, so that is the first one, Spring Bean. Okay, and we have seen some introduction to Spring configuration, XML configuration only. Okay, so let me just revise those points and we'll write one full-fledged application also. Okay, so XML configuration, we have seen different tags. The first one is a bean tag. Bean tag indicates creating object. Okay, and next one, property tag. Okay, property tag nothing but actually calling set method. Constructor hyphen arg. Okay, calling parameterized constructor. Calling parameterized constructor. Okay, then we have seen value tag. Value nothing but actually primitive. Okay, byte, short, int, long, primitive data type. Okay, then we have 4 collections used: list, set, map, actually properties, but the tag is props. Okay, these are actually for collections, but we did not see them. Still, we did not see them. Okay, and last one is actually ref tag. Ref tag is used to link objects or reference type. Okay, reference type. Okay, so now I want to write one basic chapter number 1. We started in the last session, right? I want to write one basic Spring application, a basic first application, Spring first application. I want to write. Okay, again, I'm saying in this Spring chapter 1, we have to understand only rules and guidelines, nothing else. All practical things will come from second chapter onwards, chapter number 2. Okay, so here in the Spring first application, okay, what are the different types of files we are going to see? The first one is actually Spring Bean. Spring Bean. What is the input that we are giving? Second, Spring XML configuration I'm writing. Third one, it's a test class. In the test class, it's not recommended to by hard even. Okay, it is not used in the future also, it will be removed. Okay, you are not going to write that. In the future, you need not to write that, but to see output, temporarily to see output, it is required. Once you move to Spring Boot, this is going to be auto-configured, pre-configured. Okay, you have to concentrate on only first two. Third one, you copy paste also for time being, fine, no issue. Okay, so these are the three important files here to write first application here. Okay, let me write one example. Look at carefully. I'm writing one example. Everyone, to get old session notes, means demo session notes, videos, images, everything you want to get, please join to our WhatsApp group. There will be updating. Okay, everything I'll be updating there. Okay. Okay. Now let me take example one. Concentrate very carefully. First example I'll give. You check it. Second example we do combinedly. Third example I'll give it as a task. You have to submit through email. Okay. Let me give example one. There is a package available. Package name is actually here my.app. Okay. There is a public class. Okay. Oracle con, Oracle database connection. Okay. And there is a private variable. It's actually a driver string URL. I'll write some shortcuts in the Eclipse or STS that will generate a default constructor, set get methods, toString method temporarily. Equals and hash code I'm not taking now. Okay, temporarily. Okay, so here I'll show how to generate them. Okay, there is a menu actually called source. Okay, in the source menu, if you go there, source menu, there are some shortcuts. Generate getters and setters. Generate toString hash code equals and constructor using fields. Okay, this is one way. In the future, upcoming classes, we are going to use Project Lombok. That is actually a predefined API that will generate setGet methods. Okay, first we see manual, later we go for automated, multiple combinations. Okay, now this is a class here. I wrote a class, and if you look at point number one, yes, I wrote a public class. I kept in a package, variables private, methods still I did not write manual, I generate. Okay, so I'll write a default constructor with setters and getters. I am not using parameterized, only taking toString. Okay, I'm not taking equals and hash code. No inheritance as of now. Okay, no IO serializable and no annotations I'm applying here because XML configuration, no annotations. Okay, this is the one Spring Bean. This is Spring Bean. Okay. Okay, I mentioned clearly should be, must be, can have means optional. Okay, can inherit. Okay, annotations can be. These are should be. Okay, you can just check it. Okay, so this is Spring Bean. I wrote. It's a Spring Bean. Achyut asked actually, sir, when paid session will be start? Actually started, but as few people requested, I'm just allowing them. Mostly after tomorrow session, we'll give new link. Okay, Achyutan. Okay, you will get the new link. Okay, today and tomorrow you can continue, not an issue. Okay, so this is Spring Bean. Second, we have to write Spring XML configuration. Okay, but this XML configuration, I'll give with some inputs. That means I'm drawing a Spring container here. Okay, based on that, you can write it. Spring container, I'm just giving. Okay, so I'm just telling here, this you create one object name is con. Look at, we are going to see some practical point also for this. Okay, and here I'm just writing it's a driver is equals to Oracle. URL is equals to, okay, just I'm writing here sample like this. Okay, my recommendation, look at this class and look at this configuration. This actually expected output. This what actually output we are expecting here. Okay, Nagaraj asked a question, sir, why should we create a manual configuration? Spring Boot already provides auto configuration. Very good question. First thing, Nagaraj, this is Spring we are learning now. It's not Spring Boot. Spring manual configuration. Okay, Spring Boot auto configuration. To understand what is auto configuration, first you should learn configuration. If you know already, happy. But some people might not be knowing what is configuration, what is XML configuration, what is annotation configuration and all. But though in Spring Boot auto configuration, some part of code we have to write. Okay, so here I'm just showing how to write this XML configuration. Please look at. Okay, the first tag, it's actually bean tag. Yeah, this course includes Spring also, Spring Core also. Okay. Yeah, fine, fine. Not an issue. You can ask any questions, no problem. I'll give my email ID also later. Okay. So now look at, first I want to tell create the object. To create the object, we are giving ID. ID is actually nothing but con, object name. Okay, bean, whenever you write bean tag, container will create the object. Second, what is the class name? Yes, fully qualified class name, my dot app dot oracle con. Look at, you have to write like this. It's a fully qualified class name with the package name. That's actually class name and package name. Okay, we have to write lowercase completely. Okay, you have to write lowercase completely here. And next, I am writing a tag. I want to tell, please provide the data. Okay, then we have to use a tag called property. Name is equals to driver. Okay, so here, and then we have to write a tag called value. The value is actually Oracle and close value. Close property. Okay, there is another variable, even second variable also there. So we have to write again property. Yeah, name is equals to URL. Okay, then closing tag. First, we have to write value. That's actually sample, close value, and close property. Look at this is repeated. This is ID, and this is a class. Opening bean tag and closing bean tag. You can cross check. Okay, so one student asked, sir, what is the difference between props and property? Okay, props indicates collection. Java.util.properties collection. Property means calling set method. Okay, props is for collection type. Property is actually for set method. Okay, now this is the one. Look at, I wrote a Spring Bean. I wrote a Spring Bean. I wrote XML configuration. I'm writing this XML configuration here also. Spring XML configuration. Okay, so what is the tag here? It's a bean, open and close. Bean ID is equals to some con, class is equals to, and the package name I'm just taking my dot app dot oracle con. Okay, then I am writing a tag called property. Name is equals to variable name, driver. There I'm writing value, some example value oracle, close and close property. And the second variable name is URL. And just the value is sample. Like this I wrote. So to write a Spring Bean application, see, first application, we have to write a Spring Bean, Spring configuration, and test class. Okay. So I'm just showing a test class. Before to that, let me show a simple project folder structure also. If I write a project, actually we need jars also. Okay, I want actually Spring jars, Spring core jars to write the application. If you create the project in STS or Eclipse or anywhere, the project looks like this here. Okay, Spring first app. It's a folder. It's a folder structure. We can also call it here. This is a folder structure. Okay, this first app contains different types of files. Okay, the folder name src main Java. This is a folder name. Okay, it's a Maven folder structure we use. Okay, don't worry, it's a very first application. You don't remember, don't by heart anything. Okay, you just follow my instructions and try to remember. Okay, once you do practice, you'll understand. I'll show even Maven tool also. Okay, in this, I am going to create Java classes. Okay, with a base package. Okay, we have taken a package name here, my.app. Your wish, you can take any package name, need not to be same. This is my package. I'm just going to create. In this my.app, I am going to write our Java class and also test class. Two classes will be there. Okay, our Java class name is actually Oracle Con. Dot Java. And also I'll write test.java. Okay, and continuation. There will be one more folder. SRC means source main resources folder. Remember, SRC main Java is actually for .java files. Resources actually for non-Java files. Okay, it's actually resources. In the resources, okay, so here we are going to create a file that's actually XML file. Okay, so that is, you can give any name, config.xml or beans.xml, anything. Okay, sample.xml, you can write anything. Okay, I am writing a file that is actually config.xml. This is for XML configuration. Or if you're writing any properties file also here, non-Java file simply. Okay, and as this is actually a Maven project, this is actually a Maven project. Okay, so Maven project contains project object model.xml, POM. POM. Okay, because I want some jar files. I want some jar files. Okay, that will be downloaded by here. In the future, we don't write POM also. Once we go to Spring Boot, that is also given by Spring Starter only. Okay, so here, these are the different things. Yeah, dependencies we can also call our jars. Okay, parent, project, properties, dependencies, plugins. Okay, dependency injection details, even lot of things are there here. Yeah, I'll show how to do that even. Okay, this is a folder structure. The most important word you have to remember, the XML file is available in SRC main resources, right? This location, this location is actually called as class path. Of course, even our jars also will come. Okay, our dot class also will come, but temporarily this location, you remember, it's a class path. Okay, for resources class path. Okay, so SRC main resources is actually one more resource will come. That's a test resource, but it's not that one actually here. Temporarily, you remember SRC main resources config.xml location is actually called class path. Now, my simple point I want to tell, hey, Spring Framework, create the container. I'll write Spring Bean. I'll write XML file. You create the Spring container, create the object, provide the data so that I can read and print. Are you getting my point? I want to tell Spring container, please create the container. Okay, create the container. Okay, take my class, create the object, provide the data, set the data. Okay, then I'll check it. Finally, you destroy it. Okay, that's actually what is the purpose of first application. Okay, our first application purpose is to, okay, just to test container creation, object creation, setting data, injection, setter injection. Check object is created. That's our purpose of writing first application. Okay, now again, let us come to demo session. Okay, containers are actually two types. Old container, bean factory. Of course, you can use this, but I don't want this. I'll directly go to new container, application context. Look at carefully, A capital and C capital. Application context. It's an interface. Then what is the implementation? Class path, XML application context. Of course, it's a single word. Just I separated for understanding. Okay. Read XML file. Listen the meaning. Read XML file from the location of SRC main resource and create Spring container. Separate words if you see. Read XML file from SRC main resource folder and application context means Spring container. That's the meaning here. Okay. Look at, I'm just giving some points for understanding even. New container is application context without space. It is interface. Okay, IMPL class we are using C capital, class path P capital, XML, X uppercase letter capital, application context without spaces. Look at the upper cases. Okay, what is the meaning of application context? Simple, container, Spring container, new Spring container. XML means XML file. Okay, class path. Exactly. Look, it's a location of file that is actually SRC main resources. Okay, that means what is the meaning of this word? Create Spring container by reading XML file which is present in SRC main resource folder. Understood the point? Okay, what is the meaning of this one? Please create the Spring container. Please create the Spring container by reading XML file which is present in class path. Okay, so I'm writing third code that is actually called test class. Okay, the point number one, application context, AC, new class path XML, application context. And what is the file name we have taken? That we have to give in double quotes. Any file name you write it, no issue. Any file name you write it, but same file name you have to take. Okay, so we have written the file name called config.xml here, right? So config.xml. Okay, so this is creating Spring container by reading this XML file, which is from SRC main resource. So this line will do what? All the above steps I said. Find the class, create the object, provide the data, link the objects. Actually, only one object is there. And of course, destroy will be done at last. Okay. Now, what is your target? Very simple. I want to read my object. Okay. So remember, Spring Bean means a class. Bean tag means object. Okay. AC dot, there is a method called get bean. Get means read. Bean means object. Okay. What is the object name? Object name, this one. ID means object name. Con. Please read this object. Okay. So it will return in superclass format. You can do downcast. Okay. Java.lang.object it will return. Okay. Just downcast to Oracle con. Just downcast. Later I'll show how to avoid downcast. Finally print it, sys out. If you print, you should able to see this data. This data. Okay, this is test class. And please don't by heart this, because in the future we don't write this. Temporal you do copy paste also fine. Okay, this is example. Oracle con is a class I gave this for this XML configuration and a test class. Hope you understood what is the meaning of this one. Creating Spring container by reading XML. The name is actually config.xml present in class path location. And this is reading the object from container. Get bean, reading the object from container. Okay, finally, print object to view data. I just want to confirm whether the data is present or not actually here. Okay, so here remember bean tag means actually object. Okay, just simple point here I'm just giving. Spring bean, nothing but actually class. Terminology is very important. Generally, bean means object only. A reusable object. Standard definition is reusable object. Use wherever you want. Standard definition, but temporarily simply object. Okay. Now let us, I think I gave how to install the software and all. Hey, we have started actually major sessions. Okay. If someone missed demos, please check first two demos and actual classes started here. I don't want to drag unnecessarily. So check these 4 videos in the order. These are the 2 and 2. And to get these notes, documents and all, join to our WhatsApp group. Okay. You can join to our WhatsApp group. There you will get the content here. Okay. Let me continue. Okay. If someone missed the initial sessions and you want, okay, you are not understanding these videos, I'll give one backup also. Okay. I'll give one backup session also. Don't worry about that. Okay. Everything by covering in, okay, 1.5 or 2 sessions. Okay. You can just check it. Especially check these 2 videos. If you're unable to see all, especially second and third one, please check it very carefully. Okay, first two only just introduction. What is Spring Boot and Spring Microservice course content? First one explained course content. Second one explained what is today, whatever we have seen Spring container design, whatever I explained, but only especially for that. Okay, second and third, some important things I started. So please don't miss that. Very, very important. Okay, let me continue. Okay, I am writing everything by using STS software or Eclipse also fine. You can do it with Eclipse and STS anything. Okay. full steps I'm just giving. Step number 1, start or open Eclipse or Spring Tool Suite. Select workspace. It's a one-time process. Okay, I just gave workspace name. This is workspace 7 a.m. I gave. Okay, 082022, some folder name. Keep in the D drive or any other drive. Don't use C drive. Launch. Create simple Maven project. Yeah, recording will be given at last, not now. File, new, go to last other. File menu, new option, and other. File, new, other. There I'm searching with Maven. Maven project. Okay. Next button. Choose this checkbox. Create simple project. If you don't know Maven also, don't worry. I'll show in the next session what is the purpose of all these things here. Okay. So create next button and enter the details. It's actually file, new, other, search Maven, choose Maven project. Next button, choose checkbox. Don't forget this. The checkbox with a V means checkbox. Create simple project. Next button, enter few details. It will ask some details: group ID, artifact ID, and version. Group ID, your company name, domain reverse, project name, and project version. Okay, group ID, I'm just giving com.app or my.app. Okay, fine. That's base package name also. Artifact ID, Spring First app, version 1.0. Finish. Okay, wait for a few seconds. It will create the project. Okay, I am also creating very first time in this system. It's actually after formatting. So it will take easily 5 to 10 minutes based on your internet speed. That depends on your internet speed here. Okay, once it is done, okay, this is project setup done. Step number 4, in the pom.xml, you need to add some content. Okay, you need to add some content here that I'm directly giving. You need not to search, you copy paste. Okay, Maven compiler plugin Java 11. Yeah, 8 also your wish. No problem. Okay, I recommend you at least use 11. Okay, actually I start Spring Boot with a 17, but 8 also okay, 11 also fine. 1.8 you can use, or 11 you can use, anything is fine. And also we need to add some dependencies also. Let this get created. Just wait, I'm just searching the version here. Spring Core 5.3.22. Okay. Okay, if you create the first application, look at the Java version. Maven project, if you create 1.5. Okay, Here you see pom.xml. Folder number 1, folder number 2, src main Java, src main resource. Okay, I'll open pom.xml. After version tag, press enter and paste this. And there I'm adding one more tag that is called dependencies, means jars. There is a word called dependency in Spring that is actually a variable. Don't get confused, both are different. Okay, dependencies. There we need to add, okay, Spring context Maven dependency. It will download all the required jars, very simple. Version. Latest one. Copy, paste, Control A, Control I for indentation, Control S for saving. Okay. So here, this is the content I added. You directly copy, sir, no problem. Okay. So here I'm just giving first Control A, select all, then Control I, indentation, tabbing and spacings, Control S for saving. Okay. It's a Java minimum version is Java 8. Okay. You can use 11, whatever the version you mentioned, that it will update. Still, it's not updated. You can see. Okay, I have to update Java version. Maven project by default, it will not choose ours. Okay. Yeah, I saved also. Control S also I pressed. You have to update. Right click, Maven, update project. This you have to do. Okay. Don't forget this. Right click on project, Maven, update project. Finish. Now I'm writing coding part. Look at src main Java, right click, new. I am writing a class. The class name, Oracle Con. Package name, my.app. Don't worry, I'll show one more time even. Okay, and finish. Variables, Control A, Control I. I'll show one more time also, don't worry. Okay. Yeah, we need to update the project when we do modification in pom.xml. Go to source, generate constructor using fields. Generate constructor using fields in source menu. Source. Okay, generate constructor, deselect all and generate default constructor. Go to source, generate setters and getters. These are all I'm using in source menu. Select all, generate. Get URL, set URL. Get driver, set driver. Go to source, generate toString and generate. Later we don't do this. Okay. Yeah, if you don't write any constructor, default constructor generated by Java compiler. Yes, correct. But it's a good approach. Always write it, nothing to worry. Okay, yes, answer is that is actually valid point. If you don't write, Java compiler provides. Okay, now these are the points. These are the things I generated here. Okay, source menu and all. Okay, so here write a Java class and generate code using source menu. Okay, example code I'm just giving. This is a full code. Second, XML file we have to generate now. Please look at SRC main resource. Here, don't use this menu, this option. Okay, so resources, right click, new, choose a file option. Okay, so I'm just giving config.xml, finish. Okay, okay, click on source option. You may see design. You click on source option. Okay, some top lines we need to add. Spring XML configuration. Okay, I just type this. Some top lines we need to add, that is called XSD lines. This official website, I'm clicking on this, scroll down. These are the lines. I'm just doing copy and paste. You don't write all these things. Okay, you can follow my code files, because in the future we don't write XML much. Okay, we write annotations only, but I just want to show before learning auto configuration, what is configuration. That's why I'm trying to show. Okay, so if you see all this, you may get confused. Don't worry, just remember these points only. And this XML content, bean tag, copy and paste. Control A, Control I, Control S. This is important. You understand why property, why bean tag and all. These are topmost line. Completely, I'm just giving. Right click on SRC main resources folder, new file, enter name, config.xml, finish. Click on source tab and add below content. And last but not least, a test class. Don't worry, I said right, I'll show any concept 3 times. First, I am showing one example, you listen. Second, we do combinedly. Third, I'll give as a task. Okay, so right click new, I am writing a class, it's a test. There I'm writing main, look at main, control space and enter. I'll write shortcuts here only, main, then control and space, then enter key. Okay, I'm just typing application context, AC is equals to new class path XML application context. Shortcut, yeah, control space, enter. File name is actually config.xml. Imports, I'm deleting. Control shift to O, it is coming. Control shift to O for imports. And see, if you write mistake, C lowercase or P lowercase, and you're trying to press Control shift to O, okay, it's not working, means you did some coding mistake. Uppercase, lowercase. Okay, Now I'm reading the object get bean, object name, is Khan. Okay, that returns actually Oracle Khan. Downcast. See, yeah. Sysout control space Khan. Finally, go to run menu, run option, Java application. Okay, remind later this output. What is actually object created with some data, but you wrote this much. Okay, I mentioned these videos, first to demo, second to regular classes. At least watch two regular classes, these two. Okay, see here, I wrote test class, some shortcuts also you see. Okay, do you want run this? Okay, there is actually, you can see shortcut control F11. Okay, I think today it has become very heavy. Okay, so don't worry, I'll repeat the same even, and I'll explain what is happening and all. Okay, first program only takes lot of time. This only takes lot of time here. Look at today what I have done. I wrote a Spring Bean. Okay, I wrote XML configuration file and I wrote a test class. Okay, leave test class, remaining you watch. Today who joined as a very first session, please watch all 4 sessions. If you have no that much time, at least watch last 2 sessions. Okay, these notes and all you will get through WhatsApp group. Okay, and you please note down my email ID also, Java by Raghu. At the time of doing practice, you will get some doubts, problems, and all. Send an email to me. Okay. So as I'm working employee, I may not give back-to-back response. Okay, but sure, I'll definitely give here. Okay. Yeah, I'll show even UI technology. It will take some time to start. Okay, we go in the order. Okay. Okay. Now some students ask some question. Yeah, thank you for session. If we have no questions, you can leave for the day. Okay, continuation we see in tomorrow's class. Okay, what is the purpose of Maven compiler in pm.xml? Okay, when you create a Maven project, the default version is 1.5. Maven comes with actually 1.5 actually here. So we have to update the Maven project. Okay, this actually not updated, right? Still Maven update project. Force update and okay. Yeah, it is updated, but I just did here. Okay, so this is actually comes with a default 1.5. If you want to use Java 7, Java 8 features and all, it will not support. Basic program you can write it. Okay, after upgrading project still showing 1.5, it's actually I forgot to click on finish button. Maven update project, force update, I forgot, I think this step. Click on okay. That's my mistake. Thank you for showing that. Okay, yeah, Anand, if you have any question you can ask. If you have no questions, you can leave for the day. Yeah. Tomorrow, after tomorrow session, you will get new link only for the who actually paid, not for everyone. This is not going to be same. Actually, we started paid classes also, but we are just allowing the people based on their request. Okay, day after tomorrow, you will get new link. Okay, and I'll share a new drive link. In the drive, you will get all these notes, images, recordings, everything in the Google Drive. Okay, that's a private drive link. Okay, that will be given only for the people who actually paid. Okay. Sunday sessions, no, only Monday to Saturday. Sunday, one day rest for me. Okay. Netaji, please contact admin. Yes, Nagaraj, this is to work with the Spring Boot and microservice also. So in the demo session one, I mentioned all those things. Okay. Course content also attached. You can just check it. Yeah, Anand, tools are given in the course content that we are going to cover based on that. Yeah, Rupesh, definitely. With exception handling, okay, even UI design based and all here. Everyone try to practice this program before coming to next session. Roshan asked a question, sir, you did not download JDK. Actually, I have downloaded in the last session only and added. Hemant, please contact admin. Manish, don't worry. Today, join to the WhatsApp group. You will get all those things. Palash, okay, syllabus PDF, you please contact to admin. They will share. Chaitanya, please learn core Java also if possible. Then attend Spring Boot and microservice also. Yeah, complete from the day one notes. I'll share in the drive. We create a private drive and I'll share. Temporarily, I can give through WhatsApp group only. Okay. Day after tomorrow, I'll give drive. Thank you. Yeah. Spring Boot MVC will be covered, Bindu. Yeah, they just send a email to me. I'll send all those. Yeah. If you have no questions, you can leave for the day. Thank you. We'll continue. Yeah. Tomorrow, same 7 o'clock. Have a great day.